What's up, y'all? Mike here. Welcome back for another devotional. We're trying something new. Last week we did a little bit longer form, a little bit more chill instead of trying to shoot out a 90-second reel. I'm going to try that again this week. And I'm going to look at a devotional. But normally I just look at my journal and I pull something out of my quiet time from the previous week. But this time we're pulling something from a podcast. And by the way, I write all these devotionals out on my blog, which you can find in the link below, and including this one. And so I'll just kind of elaborate on it more. But this kind of idea comes from a Jocko podcast. If you ever heard of Jocko Willink, he's ex-Navy SEAL, author, consultant now, and just a overall has a lot to say about leadership, has a lot of great insight on discipline and things of that nature. And in this podcast, which is really long form, it's like 4-hour long podcast with him and his daughter. And they're kind of just shooting the breeze, kind of reminiscing at the beginning. And then they kind of dive into something, which I had no idea this was going to be about. I kind of listened to this podcast. I thought maybe he could get some insight into his life as a dad and how he raised his kids, being, this man of great discipline, and see how he was as a father. And you definitely learned some of that. But about an hour in, he started talking about his daughter's eating disorder. And, I didn't expect that. But I think it was insightful. And I think learning about things like that are always helpful, just to better understand people that are struggling with different things. And this is definitely a unique perspective to hear that from, because you think of this, brute force guy talking to his daughter, who's actually, a jiu-jitsu instructor. And so it's not the usual angle that you hear this from. But anyways, but they ended up saying something that really, it's not something new necessarily. It's something that we've all heard, but I think it's good to recognize. And he was talking about how his daughter, how she realized that it was a problem, or I don't know if this is when she realized that her eating thing was a problem, just kind of measuring out everything that she would eat, kind of controlling her diet to the T, right? And he said something that, again, it's kind of like a general, everyone knows this. But he says, if you're doing something that nobody knows about, right? If you find yourself doing stuff in secret, that's a red flag. And the problem is, a lot of times when we're doing stuff in secret, it's not because we think it's bad. It's because we think it's no big deal, right? Like she was measuring out this food in secret and she didn't feel like it was important, like she had to tell anybody, right? And when we find ourselves doing something in secret, when there's parts of our lives that we're in secret, if we find ourselves consistently things that are consuming our time and our energy and our money, and these things are secret, that's a red flag, right? And I think that's a sign that we need to tell somebody. And they were talking a lot about how she didn't feel like she needs to tell somebody because she didn't think it was a big deal. So she told them, she thought they would be like, why are you telling me this? Like, this is weird. It's no big deal too. In reality, it was a big deal, right? And I think we often think that, right? I'm not going to tell them because they're going to just kind of think I'm weird. Like they're going to wonder why I'm telling this, why I'm overreacting to this thing. It's no big deal, so I don't need to tell them. But in reality, like if you find yourself doing things, if you find anything consuming your time, energy, and money that's in secret that nobody knows about, that's a red flag. You need to tell somebody. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Right? Like if it's a bad thing, telling somebody, they will help you to see that. They will help you examine that thing. They will help you to see it for what it is, and they will be willing and ready with you to walk you through it. Right? In the story of Jocko and his daughter, when she finally realized, like she called her parents and she told them everything that had been going on for like the previous 8 years or something like that, since middle school. And so they were willing, and they were there to walk with her through it, especially her mom in that situation. But when you tell people things, when you reveal these things to people, they're going to be there with you. Sometimes if you don't think it's a problem and you tell them and they help you to see it's a problem. Or maybe you already know it's a problem and you tell them and they're going to walk with you to help you overcome that problem. Or maybe it's actually something really good. Right? There's sometimes we do things in secret that are really good things. And if that's the case, we also shouldn't do it in secret, that we should use those things to encourage others and to inspire others, to like open the door, like open the windows and let people see into our lives so that we can help others, so that we can lead others, so that we can inspire others, right? Like we shouldn't be doing these things in secret when they only benefit us. Like we should let that out to benefit the people around us. And so it's not just about sharing bad things and problems with people, but we shouldn't be holding these good things to ourselves either. We shouldn't be doing that. Don't hide from others. Don't justify your bad habits. Don't hide your good habits, right? Stop living in isolation, right? We need community. We need people. Don't let your insecurities trap you, whether it be insecurities or shame about what you're doing is wrong, or whether it be insecurities about sharing these good things with other people, thinking that maybe they're going to judge you or they're going to, think you're prideful or something. No, don't let your insecurities trap you or limit your influence. Like, let it out. Let it out. Stop living in isolation. We're made for community. We're created for community. And so I did feel like, hey, this is a devotional, so we need to tie in some scripture. And I don't really like just slapping on a verse onto a topic just to make it biblical. But I think it is so closely related. I wanted to read just the thing from Ecclesiastes to close us out. It says, a person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer. I love this. This is New Living Translation. Two can stand back to back and conquer. They are even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. Three are even better, for a triple braided cord are not easily broken. So let's stop living in isolation. Let us reveal if the things that are going on in our life, and let other people walk with us, or in the case of good things, let us share those things with others and walk with them. All right, well, God bless you. Let's get after it.